Hello, my name is Phil Earl, and I'm here to talk to you again today about When the Sky Falls and the work that you might be doing it on in class. And one of the things that I've been asked to speak about is the theme of dyslexia within the book. And obviously, this creates an absolutely huge obstacle for Joseph as part of his journey throughout the story. As you know, when Joseph arrives in the big city to live with Mrs. F, he's incredibly angry. He's incredibly angry that his dad has gone off to fight and he felt like he had no control over that. He's incredibly angry about the fact that him and his gran don't get on and that she's sent him away. He's incredibly angry about the absence of his mother, but I don't want to say too much about that in case you haven't got to that part yet in the book. And he's angry at the world. But one of the things we don't know about is his anger about his own inability, as he sees it, to read properly. And dyslexia is something that I have some experience of. It's not something that I live with myself. Although since writing this book, ironically enough, 2 of my 3 children have been diagnosed with dyslexia. But I have done an awful lot of work with children in schools, and I find it incredibly difficult and heartbreaking when you see these young people who desperately want to read and they strive to read and they will sit there and pore over a book, yet the words that they're reading simply don't make sense. And there are many different kinds of forms of dyslexia. Sometimes it can be about reading, sometimes it can be more about spelling. And one of the things that I didn't know about dyslexia is that there are forms of it where when you are reading, that the words actually move about on the page, almost like it's a ship at sea, moving up and down, like as if it's on a wave, or even if it was on a roller coaster, and they almost seem to slide off the end of the page. And empathy is a really important thing when you're a writer. This idea, empathy, of course, is about not just trying to sympathise with what other people are going through, but trying to imagine what it must feel like. Stop and think about that for a moment. Stop and think about how it must feel to be called thick or stupid or dim or a dunce or a fool or an idiot just because you can't absorb words off the written, off the page in the same way as most people. Add on top of that the fact that we now, living today, there's so much research and knowledge about dyslexia, and there are publishers out there like Barrington Stoke who publish books just for people, for people that are dyslexic or are reluctant readers. And I've been so lucky that I've managed to write, I think, 5 or 6 books for them. Books like The Buns of Steel or Unlucky 11 about football, or older books about the dog that saved the World Cup, or even Edgar and Adolf and Mind the Gap. And what feels so important is that we should make stories accessible for absolutely everybody. But 100 years ago, nearly, when World War II was happening, so little was known about dyslexia. There weren't publishers who published books just for children that lived with it. If anything, it would strike fear into children, a genuine fear that if they put their hand up in class and said to their teacher, "Miss" or "Sir," the words keep rolling around on the page. They keep falling off the page. They're moving. They won't stand still so I can read them. There would be a genuine fear from those children that if they said that to a teacher, that teacher would think that they were mentally ill, that they were seeing things, that they were having delusions. They might be scared that they might take them away and lock them up for thinking such what might seem like crazy things. And so it felt really important that when I was writing about a character like Joseph, who is an underdog on all sides, fighting battles on every aspect of his life, the fact that he feels abandoned, the fact that he's been sent away to live with someone that he doesn't like, despite the fact that, Adonis, he feels, hates him. I wanted to put as many obstacles in front of Joseph as I could, and I couldn't think of a greater obstacle in a way than dyslexia, because it must be simply terrifying to live with. However, what I wanted to show really positively is that there are ways to get around it, and that Joseph's bravery in facing up to his dyslexia and to the evil headmaster that is Mr. Grice will show just what a resourceful and intelligent child Joseph is. Don't forget, if dyslexia is something that you are living with, it doesn't mean the end of reading or the end of writing. There are so many ways that you can get around it. Barrington Stokes books are printed on cream paper, well spaced, using dyslexia-friendly fonts. You don't, of course, have to read with your eyes. You can read with your ears. If you wanted to read When the Sky Falls, you can listen to it. You can get it on CD or you can listen to it on audio download. So if that problem is there where you can't read with your eyes because of the dyslexia, then at least you can listen to it instead or have someone read it to you. That's still reading. So dyslexia is a key part of the book. And as you're reading through When the Sky Falls, stop and think about that word empathy. Think about walking a mile in Joseph's shoes. Think about how it must feel for whenever he opens a book for the words to slip and slide all over the page. Good luck. Keep reading. And whether you're reading with your eyes or with your ears, you are still reading. Good luck. See you soon.